What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at Reignmakers NFL for Week 9, trying to find some of our best options using the stochastic projections. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you haven't already signed up for Reignmakers, you can still claim a free starter pack. It's in the link in the description of this video. You can get a full lineup of cards. It's 100% free. So just click the link in the description of this video. You're going to get 5 cards for free, and they're going to be cards that can be used to fill out a roster. It's random, so you might get total crap and you might get completely awesome cards. That's the fun of just like opening sports cards, fun of opening a pack. You never know what you're going to get. So check it out if you have not already done so. Now I'm going to take a look at, and you can find these cards on the marketplace. So if you don't get the cards you want, you can find them in the marketplace, the Reignmakers marketplace. That's what I'm going to be looking at here. So to find the best plays for this slate, I'm going to be just looking at the top projected plays currently on Stochastic. It's the same scoring. DraftKings scoring is used for DraftKings Reignmakers as well. So pretty easy to take a look at who are the top plays in the Reignmakers contest. And I'm looking at the core prices right now. Generally, there's going to be correlation between core prices and rare prices, but of course, that's not always the case. But I'm just going to take a look at who are the best options for relatively cheap. And, you know, in these cores, everybody's pretty cheap. Even the best plays on the slate. The highest you got here at quarterback, $11 for a Tua, $10 for a Jalen Hurts. So everybody is relatively cheap, but you have to decide how much you really want to budget in your lineup. So I'll take a look at some different options. So starting right at the top here. So I'm looking in the stochastic projections at quarterback. We have Jalen Hurts at the top, projects half a point better than Lamar Jackson, the number 2. We also have at the top of wide receiver AJ Brown. So you can very easily, like, that is clearly the best stack on the day. And if you look at our top stacks tool, yeah, not a surprise. Philadelphia, number 1, 18% chance of being the top stack this week. So that is your number 1 option if you're willing to pay for it. $10 for this Jalen Hurts. And then if we want to take a look, I'll take a look at, I'll save it. We'll take a look at wide receiver separately. But you can buy that Hurts, AJ Brown. That's going to be your top stack right away. But if you're looking for some value, we can take a look at some other options. So obviously getting back to quarterback, Lamar Jackson was number 2, not far behind Hurts. Lamar Jackson also cheaper than Hurts. So that is another option you can go to. Lamar Jackson for just $8 right now. These, of course, by the time you're watching this video, that could change depending on what has been bought. But that is our current floor price, is $8 for Lamar Jackson. You don't need to play tight ends in Reignmakers. You have flex spots that are wide receiver / tight end. But of course, Mark Andrews is somebody you could always play alongside Lamar Jackson. We'll get there when we take a look at the pass catching options. But those are your top 2 options on the day. They're also the 2 most expensive on the slate, 2 and not being on the main slate this week. So, but after those, you can find some nice value options. We have Dak Prescott is number 3, Derek Carr, CJ Stroud, Mac Jones, maybe even Baker Mayfield. These are the quarterbacks that I am the most interested in. So let's take a look at Prescott, Carr, Stroud, and Jones as far as prices go. None of them at the top in terms of price, and I have it sorted by highest prices here. Moving down. CJ Stroud is $4. Sorry, $5.55 currently is the minimum price for CJ Stroud. I kind of like it in part because he is also a rookie. You can see it's designated as a rookie. Just from a collectible standpoint, it's kind of cool to find cards that are going to hold value long term. Potentially, you never know how these things are going to go as collectibles, but you know, if they do well as collectibles, CJ Stroud rookie card is going to look pretty good. So I kind of like the idea of just stashing one of these CJ Strouds, and you can certainly play it this week. We also already got the news Robert Woods is out, so kind of a condensed target tree. We also have Damian Pierce out, so maybe they're going to be passing the ball a little bit more. A lot to like about CJ Stroud this week. That would probably be my top option here, but we have several great options. As I said, Dak Prescott was the 3rd best projected. That is just a $5.50 card, so that's another way you can go if you want to get cheap. Moving on down, Derek Carr is just $4 this week. Nice matchup against the Bears for Derek Carr. He's 57 on draft. I guess that doesn't matter. But $4 for Derek Carr in a nice matchup with the Bears. Hoping for some long touchdowns. They haven't really been able to do it all that often this year, but just had a couple to Rashid Shaheed last week. Maybe one of these days he actually connects with Chris Olave for a long touchdown. So that's kind of untapped potential there for the Saints passing game. And then finally, we're going to move down to Mac Jones, who has about as good of a matchup as you can possibly hope for. Just $3.25 for Mac Jones. I know Mac Jones himself, maybe not exciting to you, not a name you often want to click in DFS, but playing against the Commanders here for Mac Jones. The Commanders now down 2 of their better defensive players as they traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young. They were already horrible in the second. They've just been getting torched all year. So Mac Jones, may not be a sexy name to click, but in this matchup with the Commanders, it is a great spot for Mac Jones. So I actually really like that one as well. And that one, a really cheap stack to make. As you can see here, Mac Jones himself, just 325. We'll take a look at some of the pass catching options later on as well. So there you have it for the quarterbacks. If you want to pay up, go to Hurts, go to Lamar Jackson. Those are two very solid options. But I really do like CJ Stroud as a pay down option. And I would say CJ Stroud followed by Mac Jones. And then I'd probably rank Derek Carr last of the real pay down options. And then, of course, if you want to pay for Dak Prescott, a fine kind of mid range option as well. All right, let's take a look at some running backs. So I'm going to sort by the highest prices once again. Now, looking at the projections on Stochastic, we've got some cheap options that project really well. So Alvin Kamara, I don't believe we have a core Alvin Kamara for sale currently. So if you want to play Alvin Kamara, you actually have to pay up for a rare card, and those are very expensive. So honestly, I would skip it in these core contests. I mean, if you want to, certainly it's not many people are going to be playing Alvin Kamara because we don't have any of the core cards for sale. But I don't think I'm going to go there. I'm just going to go for the Josh Jacobs, who projects a couple points worse, but Josh Jacobs relatively inexpensive here. Got to scroll down to find a Josh Jacobs here, all the way down to he's just $3.89 for the second best projected running back on the entire slate. Josh Jacobs in a nice matchup with the Giants defense. Lot to love about Josh Jacobs here for this week. So he would be my top option at running back. Makes a lot of sense. Projects really well, in a great spot, and inexpensive. So I really like Josh Jacobs this week. Saquon Barkley, same game against the Raiders, is going to look great. We have Saquon Barkley. You have to pay up a little bit more. Saquon Barkley is still, though, just $4.44. So honestly, because there is no salary cap in Reignmakers, I'm more inclined to just go with some of the higher projected players. Of course, it's still, you're trying to win. You still maybe want to get contrarian, play some plays that nobody else is playing. But in general, you're still kind of condensing to the players who project the best. Jonathan Taylor is kind of interesting. Let's see what's nice matchup against Carolina for Jonathan Taylor. Really hard not to love that matchup against Carolina for Jonathan Taylor. He did seem to get banged up a little bit late in the first half last week, but assuming that he's good to go this week, they make it sound like he's good to go, and it's just $4 for a Jonathan Taylor. So I kind of like that as a potentially more contrarian option. It's an interesting spot at the very least. Man, Bijan Robinson all the way down to 6,100 in the DraftKings main contest. That is wild to see that he has gotten that cheap. But certainly a place you can go. Tony Pollard, I skipped over Pollard. If you wanted to build out a game stack, I recommended, if you're paying up for the Eagle stack, you could certainly use Tony Pollard on the bring back here. Tony Pollard we have at, where is he? There we go, $3.90. So not particularly expensive. Honestly, all of these running backs, they don't really, the prices are not all that different. So you can really just play some of the top projected plays. But Bijan, you can also get that rookie card here. So let me find Bijan's price. Maybe easier just to search him. Yeah, Bijan rookie card for $355. That is a nice price. Throw in the fact he's rookie, just an added bonus to buying that card. So I don't hate that either. Yeah, I think we've kind of nailed all of the best options. I guess Chuba. I kind of want to look at Chuba Hubbard because they already named him as a starter this week. Nice matchup with the Colts. Probably not going to be too expensive. So let me take a look at that one real quick too. $1 for Chuba Hubbard. That is a nice price. Of course, the Panthers, who knows if they're going to be able to move the ball at all, even in a great, usage match for Chuba. No guarantee that he's going to get it done, but it's a nice spot. The card is only $1, so a lot to like there. I should also note, Amari DeMarcado was just before I made this video, was just ruled out, so we're going to have to update this. But maybe Tony Jones, Keontae Ingram will be interesting. We'll kind of have to wait and see the news. Honestly, it's such a tough matchup with the Browns that I probably wouldn't play them in Reignmakers anyway, but they will be inexpensive, and one of them is probably going to get some nice usage. So let's just take a look at Keontae. The price tag right now is just 49 cents for Keontae Ingram. So if you want to go super cheap, he's an option that I would consider at, sub 50 cents. That's not a bad price tag for Keontae Ingram. Let's take a look at some wide receivers now. Actually, I'll do wide receivers and tight ends together because you can play them both. You can play either one of them in the wide receiver slash tight end spot. So we'll take a look at wide receivers / tight ends. I already mentioned AJ Brown, you can set him up in those lineups with Jalen Hurts. Nice little stack there. I am still in these contests. I still want to be stacking my lineups in general. So AJ Brown, interesting to see that he's actually more expensive than Jalen Hurts. I guess these are where the expensive players are, is in the wide receivers. But $14 for an AJ Brown, if you want to pay up for that alpha stack, it makes a lot of sense to go there. Don't mind that. Let's take a look at some of the other highest projected wide receivers, though. CeeDee Lamb, the second best projected wide receiver. You could also throw, I mean, you can do a full game stack there with Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown or Dak Prescott if you prefer to CeeDee Lamb. And then you can do the other as the bring back here. And CeeDee Lamb is just $869, so a little bit cheaper there. Looks good. Cooper Kupp, we have Puka Nacua questionable this week. Unclear if he's going to be able to go. So Cooper Kupp, I mean, he's going to look good either way. He is Cooper Kupp, one of the best receivers in the game. But if Puka is unable to go, you'd think that's just going to be even more usage for Cooper Kupp. He's just $4.20. Nice price tag there for Cooper Kupp. Thielen, Devontae Adams, Pittman, you can see it's a gradual decline. So a lot of different places you could go. Now, if you want to go to this this Nico Collins, I don't hate the idea of doing a CJ Stroud, Nico Collins stack on the cheap. Let's take a look at Nico Collins here and maybe Tank Dell as well. Yeah, Nico Collins, 334. You know, not that inexpensive relative to like Cooper Kupp being 420 is obviously just a better value overall. But if you want to do this stack, it's relatively inexpensive for Nico Collins. Let's take a look at Tank Dell. Other option there is just $1.29, sort of interesting. Kind of let's take a look at the top value options, which not as relevant in Reignmakers as it is in DraftKings Classic contest, because you can play whoever you want. There's no salary cap; you just have to pay for them. But really, like Demario Douglas, really high projection for Demario Douglas. So if you want to do that stack, Douglas actually projects a lot better than even Juju Smith-Schuster. So let's take a look at, do we have Demario Douglas price cards in here? Because if we do, guessing they're not going to be super expensive, and he projects really well. Nope, doesn't look like we have Demario Douglas. So ignore that. Not relevant here. Unfortunately, we can't play Demario Douglas. You could go to Juju if you want to. Does kind of take away from the appeal of the stack a little bit. I mean, Juju for a quarter, that's not bad. So you can play that Patriot stack really cheap. Takes away from the appeal a little bit that you can't play their best projected wide receiver. It's a little bit unfortunate, but you can still play the Juju Smith-Schuster stack for really cheap with Mac Jones. So a lot to like there. And then finally, as far as tight ends go, and I'll go back to sorting by projection. Oh, I should look at actually Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. I kind of want to see what the pairing options are with Derek Carr first. So let's take a look at those. Olave just 224. That's a great price tag. He hasn't really gotten it done so far this year. Let's see if I can just add them here. Michael Thomas just 90 cents. And actually, I want to see if we can play a Rashid Shaheed. Clearly has that boom upside. Yeah, Rashid Shaheed actually more expensive than Michael Thomas now, up to $1.50 there. So some interesting options there. All right, let's take a look at some tight ends as well, see if we have any that project extremely well. So our top receivers projecting for, 15 to 18 fantasy points. Yeah, our top tight end is Mark Andrews. Of course, as I said, you can play that stack, the Baltimore stack, if you want to go to Lamar Jackson. Maybe I'd consider, these four tight ends are at least in play. I don't think I'd go down to McBride here, just because you don't have to play a tight end, and they just don't project like even Dallas Goedert, Dalton Schultz. It's getting pretty thin because we have so many wide receivers that project better. Let's take a look at Andrews and Hawkinson, though. All right, Mark Andrews, 355. So if you want to play that Baltimore stack, Lamar to Andrews, that makes a lot of sense. Let's take a look at Hawkinson. No, Kirk Cousins is going to hurt Hawkinson quite a bit, down to $2.40. I'd rather just go to Mark Andrews. Probably. I don't know what to expect from Jaron Hall and the Vikings offense this week, so I'm not sure that I'm going there anyway. And then let's take a look at Zay Flowers. Actually, I skipped over Flowers, another option that you can consider in your Lamar stacks. This one taking a minute. Gonna refresh real quick. All right. Well, not sure what's going on. We are not refreshing being able to see Zay Flowers. So I'm just going to say he's probably not going to be that expensive. Somebody else that you can throw into your Lamar stacks. So plenty of good options here in Rainmakers this week. Let's see, did it come up? Nope, didn't come up. So not able to connect to DraftKings right now, but plenty of good options as you saw. Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown, your top stack. If you wanted to do Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert, you could, but AJ Brown just clearly the top option there. Lamar Jackson, I think makes a lot of sense going Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews, potentially Zay Flowers as well. If you want to do your Dak to CD stack, that one looks really good as well. And, two of the top stacks being from the same game tells you that it's going to be pretty easy to do a full-on game stack with a bring back as well. We had the nice Derek Carr, pretty inexpensive. Chris Olave, inexpensive. Michael Thomas, under $1, looked really good. Didn't really look at Baker Mayfield. I don't think that's where I'm going this week. I'd rather go to CJ Stroud, look good with both Nico Collins and Tank Dell, both pretty inexpensive. I don't think I'm going to Aiden O'Connell. I suppose you could if you really wanted to. 5.5% chance of Vegas being the top stack. Great matchup against the Giants. So another stack you can consider there. Plenty of honestly pretty good options here this week on Rainmakers, and a lot of really inexpensive options if you want to check out those core contests. If you want to go, to higher contests, rare, etc., those are going to be a little bit more expensive, obviously. But for core options, we have some really nice, cheap stacks you can play this week. That's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers here on the Stochastic channel. And of course, hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. Good luck this week.